Nuclear ambitions. The historic change sweeping across the Arab world must be defined not by the iron fist of a dictator or the hate of extremists, but by the hopes and aspirations of
authorities, circumventing those Oslo Accords and going to New York to try to create.
The big issue on everybody's mind right now is jobs.
The president's plan includes tax cuts for workers and small businesses that add jobs. And
I believe that having spent my life in the private sector, having actually created jobs, is what allows me to have the kind of support that's going to allow me to replace President Obama and get the country
with the right values. We need a government that backs families and understands that the family is the most important thing in our society. We need a government that backs work and people who
tax, which means spending in our campaigns will only get worse and elections even more one-sided. And Prop 32 lets those same special interests spend unlimited.
Like a lot of families in a new place with no family, we found kinship with a wide circle of friends through our church. When we were new to the community, it was welcoming, and as the years went by, it was a joy.
Defending our freedom, though, is not just the job of our military alone. We must all do our part to make sure our God-given rights are protected here at home.
To Israel. Israel is our greatest ally. The biggest problem is the fact that the president of
given over $48 million to California campaigns, and the big unions have contributed over $25 million directly to state politicians. These corporate and union
There was bad policy yesterday. It's bad policy today. Obamacare was bad law yesterday. It's bad law today. Let me tell you why I say that. Obamacare raises taxes.
That's fine. But what Governor Romney is actually promising is to have a huge partisan battle over the next 2 years to plunge us.
The problem in this administration, we've had political objectives instead of objectives for success, and that's why we haven't succeeded. And as Michelle said, and correctly said, the central threat...
Bigger military, you want a bigger Navy. You don't want to cut defense spending. What I want to ask you, we're talking about financial problems in this country. Where are you going to get the money?
$2 trillion on military spending that our military's not asking for. Now, keep in mind that our military spending has gone up every single year that I've been in office. We spend more on our military than...
Not a terrorist organization, number one.
They were our good friends.
They're not our good friends, but they're a sovereign country, just like the Palestinian Authority is not the good friends of Israel.
He negotiated for hostages.
There's a role for...
And as long as I'm president, I never will. I refuse to ask middle-class families to give up their deductions for owning a home or raising their kids just to pay for another millionaire's tax cut. I refuse to ask students to pay more for college or kick children out of Head Start programs to eliminate health insurance for millions of Americans who are poor and elderly or disabled. Also, those with the most can pay less. I'm not going along with that.
That's been the problem in this administration. We've had political objectives instead of objectives for success, and that's why we haven't succeeded.